Hi everybody. So recently I asked on Instagram what you most wanted me to talk about, and one of the things that came up was my creative process, and I immediately thought, I don't have a creative process. What's a creative process? I'm the worst. I just write. But then I started thinking about it, and of course I do. Everybody does. Everybody has a process to how they work, a way they get things done. So today I'm going to tell you about mine, such as it is. When I first wrote Night School, my very first book, I was definitely a pantser because I didn't know about plotting. So Night School has this sort of meandering plot because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I let the plot take me wherever it went. And I find that a very exciting way to write. And I feel like Night School is exciting in a way because it does unexpected things because I didn't plan anything. So it just goes. And then it kind of reached a point, 90,000 words, and I was like, well, that seems like enough. I think I'll stop here. So it ends really abruptly, which some people on Goodreads have commented on, but it worked. Like, it just worked for me. But as writing a series, you gotta have some idea where you're going. You need a destination when you get on the writing train. And so I then began a light plotting. When I first start, I'll write a short paragraph about what I'm going to do, and then I expand that to a page, and then I expand that page to about 8 pages of plot. So I have a really good idea, and then I sit down to write and I ignore all of it. That is my system. So yeah, I do both. I plot and then I insist on pantsing. I like noise. I work really well on trains and in coffee shops. They're my favorite places to write. If it's too buzzy, I put my headphones on and I play like jazz music or something that without words. I like jazz. It's unexpected and syncopated, and it's like boom chicka boom chicka. Jazz turned down really low. It's just this cool low rhythm, which kind of it's like typing. So that works for me a lot. In the afternoon, like when the writing's really going, I usually put something on. A bit of Miles, a bit of Charlie. Yeah, you jazz people will understand what I'm talking about. I come out to my writing shed and I sit down at about 9:30 with a cup of coffee, and I'm all ready, and then I'm like, I don't have any words yet. Where are the words? I figured out I'm not a morning writer. I wish I was. Stephen King writes everything he's going to write between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. and he's done for the day, takes the rest of the day off. Imagine. So now in the morning, I kind of do admin, I reply to emails, I do fun stuff like Instagram and Facebook and social networky, blah blah. I read what I wrote the day before first thing between 11 and sort of 12:30, take a break, and then when I come back from lunch, I do like 5 hours of constant writing. What I write in the afternoon, the next morning, I read that over and rewrite it as I go, like I edit as I go. It often doesn't need a huge amount of rewriting. I trust my instincts tremendously, so I can usually tell right away if for me what I wrote the day before works. So if I'm immediately taken out of the story I was just writing, then I know that didn't work, and so I'll think, well, it would work. Why doesn't that work? And usually it's small things. Sometimes it's loads of it. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, okay, this is a great start, but this thing could be better. And it's like this process of going through over and over until it's right. If I'm on my game to write a first draft that I'm happy with, 3 to 4 months is standard for me. And then usually 3 weeks of editing before I'm comfortable sending it to somebody. And usually I take a week off in between, and then I'll send it to either my agent or my editor, and then they'll have ideas, and then I go back and edit again. So the whole process takes, with waiting for other people, easily 8 months, but I can start writing another book while I'm waiting for other people, so I layer the projects. Yeah, I do always try to have like a week, if I'm lucky, off between switching books. If it's 2 books in the same series, there's no problem. Your brain's already in that world. I'm pretty happy to just slide into that next book. I know where I am. But if I'm switching between the Echo Killing series and, say, number 10, I do need a week to think and to go back and read the last thing I wrote of the book I'm about to edit. Just read. Don't do anything, just read and let it sink in, and then I'm in that world and I can start again. More than 2 weeks, I get itchy. I just want to be doing it. They are distracting, but I think distractions... Hello? See what I mean? Excuse me a minute. So I like distractions. I think I am a person who needs to be distracted because I actually have pain in my neck and shoulders and arms because I can sit at the computer and type for hours without realizing time has passed. I really get lost in my work. So for me, having a dog that needs to go for a walk and be let out and, you know, be entertained and have a ball thrown for him, and a cat that wants to come in and then go out and then come in and then go out, means I get up and I move and I go do things, and that's really important. And while I'm walking, I'm thinking. I mean, some of my biggest plot twists have come to me when I was walking the dog. So yeah, thank God for them. Thank God for the pesky pets. I don't work with a reward system, and I think that's probably because I used to be a journalist. Journalism beats into you, like almost literally. You will write these many words. You will just do it. And there's a deadline, and it's called a deadline rather than like a happy line or a whenever you feel like it line. So just shut up and write the words. Do it. But if I want a cookie, y'all, I'm having a cookie. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't have a cookie. I don't do it. I do it when I'm having a bad day. Actually, when the words aren't coming, I'm like, cookies. Give me cookies, because the words aren't coming and I'm tired. So actually, I think I have an anti-reward system. I reward myself for having a bad day. How great is that? I guess I don't fear the blank page because my method is I sit down and I write. I have that synopsis that I've written up for myself, those 8 pages, and they're my protection from the fear. But what I do have is obsessive compulsion disorder about rewriting my first chapter. It will be rewritten about 50 times before you guys ever get your eyes on it. It's the thing I come back to over and over again. If I get to chapter 8, I go back to chapter 1. Does it still work? If I get to chapter 12, I go back to chapter 1. Is it still right? And rewrite it. And what you see at the end is nothing like what I started with. So sometimes you got to get into it before you realize, I know what's wrong. I know how to make this exciting. What I do have that's not imposter syndrome is fear that the well of creativity will dry up. And this is a phrase I got from a friend of mine, which is that I would just like, creativity is not infinite and invention is not infinite. You have to take time, you have to absorb creative inspiration. And when I'm writing really fast, and I tend to write really fast, I worry that I'll just drain the well. That's my worry. I don't have imposter syndrome, I have emptying the well syndrome. And I worry that with every book. With every book I think, will there be words? Will there be a story? Will I find these characters? Will it feel as real to me? So that's the one that it keeps me up at night. So thank you so much for coming today to watch my video and find out that it turns out I do have a creative process, which is news to me and I'm really pleased about because I didn't know. I hope you'll hang out some more, watch some of these other videos, maybe check out the Night School books or The Echo Killing, A Beautiful Corpse. I am open to your thoughts and ideas. This very video came from the comments. So leave me a comment, let's chat, let's be friends. See you soon, bye.